Well, TGIF, everyone, and not, except for maybe the McGreevies. I'm Amy Walter.
That's funny. And I'm John Mercurio. We have a very special show for you today because it's Bandwagon Day. And it hasn't been Bandwagon Day in quite a while here at the Hotline Television Network, but we each choose whose bandwagons we are jumping on and those that we are jumping off. It's one of our favorite little games here at Hotline TV. But Amy Walter, why don't you start? Whose bandwagon are you jumping on or off? We'll have this as sort of a free-flowing discussion.
Thing. All right, maybe I'll start with off.
Okay, sure.
Because this is the new person that just came onto my radar just this moment. Michael Bloomberg. Off. Can't we all get off Michael Bloomberg? He's not running. He's not running. Who cares what he says anymore? He's not running again for mayor. He is not. Maybe he runs for governor, but let's cover that in 2010. He's not running for president.
Why specific today are you jumping off?
Because today he decided now he's going to weigh in on the gas tax
Calling
proposal.
Hillary Clinton's proposal the worst idea he's ever heard in his entire life.
That's fine, but why are we covering it?
All right.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Done. You.
I got to jump off the Charlie Crist bandwagon, and I know he's a big friend of the show, and I know you're watching Charlie, and I'm going to get a call, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning or something. What else is new?
Totally.
But look, he's got a state budget crisis that he should be dealing with as the governor of the state.
He is still the governor, right?
And yet, last weekend, for on more than a few occasions, I happened to see him carousing about the Tammy Haddad's delightful garden brunch before the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and then again at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, hobnobbing, rubbing shoulders, not necessarily taking the opportunity to talk to other political leaders, other governors, other administration
Maybe
officials.
he was.
No, he was talking to Morgan Fairchild.
Oh,
he was
maybe she has some good ideas about the economy.
He was hanging out with Tammy, Tracy Ullman. He took it as an opportunity, I think, to really get his moment in the sun, if you will. And I think as someone who really wants to be, the next vice president, which is clear to everybody, he ought to maybe step back and run his state.
Spend a little time at home. All right, fine. Okay, so now I'll go to on.
Let's do off first, and then do all.
Oh, all right. One more off. Sorry. Anybody who uses this weekend a cliche involving Kentucky Derby, especially if we have the Philly win, and then we're going to have to hear thousands of cliches.
Not that there's anything wrong with cliches.
We love cliches, but can we not do that? Because you get it, because it's a horse race, and the presidential, it's obvious. So please try not to use that. Thank you.
Real quick, I'm jumping off the Rob Andrews bandwagon, and I was on the Rob Andrews bandwagon. Don't get me wrong. Look, I thought that he was going to run this great campaign, but the constant sort of extremely thinly veiled references to Frank Lautenberg's age, at the same time that he insists that this campaign is not about age, I think are really sort of unfortunate. The fact that Lautenberg is running a tired, stale, cranky, exhausted campaign, and that he's part of the old politics of New Jersey and of Washington, I think. It's kind of insulting to the Jersey voters, because I think it's as though they don't understand and they don't realize what he's doing.
And he's kind of whiny with these.
With the court case and the ballot line and
stuff
on
like
the
ballot.
So I'm off.
All right. Okay. So now we can move to on.
Yes, this is a more positive aspect.
Yes, because I'm nothing if not positive.
Sure.
Right? Okay. On Rahm Emanuel, on his bandwagon, because I think this is the guy, when all's said and done, if we still have this, who's a nominee, who's not, who can get in there and sort of usually just bust heads.
Sure.
That's going to be Rahm. And I think that when we look back and we say who was able to figure this out, we're gonna point to him as the conciliator or maybe instigator. But either way,
very interesting.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, I know I just said that I was off the Rob Andrews bandwagon, but I've got to say there was one member of the Rob Andrews campaign staff this week who really needs a little support right now. His name is Jay Lassiter. He was reprimanded by Andrews for having sent out an email to his friends, a wide array of MySpace and Facebook friends, trying to get them involved in the Andrews campaign, trying to reach out to young voters. He may have included an offer of free liquor and other illicit substances in the subject line of the email.
Who doesn't?
But then who doesn't, right, exactly. And then what he was trying to do was get people to open the email and then read about the great things that Rob Andrews is trying to do for New Jersey. This guy is now not fired, but obviously under heavy reprimand from Andrews. I think he needs somebody to jump on his bandwagon with his keg in the back of that bandwagon. And Jay Lassiter, I'm there with you.
Wow, that's very nice of you. All right. And finally, I'm going to pick Jim Gibbons. Now, the governor of Nevada he's had kind of a bad week. But here's the thing. He and his wife, they're in some problems. He's decided to move out, which I think he has given her the run of the governor's mansion. Seems nice. I don't know. Now, the threat is that he may get sued for not having a residence in the governor's mansion. Look, if you're breaking up, just let it go. I'm gonna go with him on that. And also I'm on his bandwagon. One more thing. Charging Stephen Fawcett's widow for the search of the cost. That may sound harsh, and quite frankly it is, but let's face it, there are more and more of states that are charging people who are doing dangerous things, so that if they have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to rescue you, you will help pay the cost, defray the costs. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't go climbing mountains.
That's about all the bandwagons we can jump on.
We're off.
In the short time we have. So until Monday, I'm John Mercurio.
I'm Amy Walter. See you next time.